Hey, what's going on, people? It's Low Heat, and last week I uploaded a beat making video where I actually made a sample based beat on the Maschine MK3 with a vinyl sample. In this video I'm gonna be explaining how I actually enhanced the beat by laying down some keys, some bass line and some melodies on top of the sample. I'm gonna explain how to find the key of a sample and how to actually compose additional instrumentation around your sample. And so basically last week I did this. And since then I added additional stuff, but I didn't film while I was actually working on the track. So I'm gonna be showing you just my machine project and I'm gonna be explaining how I did it. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a really useful video for you guys, and let's see what it's all about. Okay, so first thing you need to do is basically just find the key of the sample. So you just play the sample and play a simple piano patch alongside it, just to hear which notes sound good together with the sample and which notes don't sound good with the sample. And from then you can figure out the key of the track. Of course, learning music theory can really help you in this situation. But yeah, you can even just do it by ear, just figuring out which notes sound good and which don't. So let's see how this works. So I just soloed the sample, I play it, and I just hit notes on a simple piano patch. So basically I figured that D sounded really good alongside the sample, also G and A, and so this got me thinking that it's the key of D, and to be more specific, the key of D minor, because it sounds kind of minor. Okay, so now that I figured that it's D minor, here's how I laid down the bass line. I played the root note of the first chord, which is the D chord, alongside the actual D chord that's played in the sample, and then I switch it up to other notes from this key. So I figured out that after the D chord it probably goes to a G chord, but I didn't just play the root note of the chord to make the bass line more interesting. But the key thing here is that the bass line follows the chord progression of the sample. So this is really essential when you try to come up with bass lines that go together with your sample. So I actually added this bass line in the video, but then I had to stop recording and quickly just edit and upload the video. But then later on I decided to try to add some more stuff to the beats and make it more musical, make it more interesting. So open up a Rhodes piano patch and I just played some chords on the keyboard that basically follow along with the chords that are played in the sample. So basically pretty much the same situation as the bass line. We have a D chord and then we go to G, and I'm not really sure if it's even the same chord that's in the sample, but it sounds good when you play them together. So if you play the sample and the bass line and the Rhodes together, it sounds like this. If you want to hear just the Rhodes, it sounds like this. And I also added this string melody. But the key thing here is that once you figure out the key, you just use the note in the scale that corresponds to this key. to compose all the other melodies and chords and bass lines in your beat. So then I figured out I needed a B section, played the sliced sample in a different configuration, and so basically it created a new chord progression similar to the one that in the first section, but different enough to make the track more interesting. And so this is how it sounded. So again, as we can hear, it's one chord here, then it switches to another chord, then it's the first chord again, another chord, first chord again, another chord, and there's a third chord in the fourth bar. So the important thing here again is that my bass line and the Rhodes part that I added needs to follow along with this chord progression. The bass line is like this. It goes from A to G, again A, G, A, G, and then it goes down to D, and the upper notes are basically just for, you know, for funkiness, to make the bass line more exciting, but the main notes are the ones that are down below here. So if we play it together with the sample, it sounds like this. Again, the Rhodes part, A, G, A, G, A, G, and then down to D. And I forgot to mention that these are not the most basic chords. These are ninth chords, and I've added the 7th and the 9th on top of the basic triad, and that's why they sound so jazzy, so soulful or whatever. And then the whole thing sounded like this. And then I added the lead melody, and again, once I figured out the key of the track, I can just use the notes which are in the corresponding scale, which is D minor in this case, to compose a lead melody. And so when I added the melody, it sounded like this. So then I just exported all my scenes as audio files, as separate tracks. Then I loaded them inside Ableton Live to arrange and mix. I've got a video on my channel explaining how to do this, so I won't explain it in detail in this one right now. The video will be down in the description and in the card up here or up here, not sure. Yeah. So then inside Ableton, I just arranged and mixed my beat, did some transitions. And so here's the intro that I did. And there's a transition going to the main section. You hear, I just did a little simple stutter effect just by repeating the sample a couple of times. And here's the main section. And then I have a nice transition here to transition to the next section. Let's hear it. really like how this second section turned out, really dope. And I finished this beat and I'll be uploading it to Spotify real soon, probably after next week, because next week my new EP comes out and it will be on all streaming platforms. You can check it out on Thursday. It's gonna be the 9th of April. And so this beat is gonna be uploaded maybe the week after or a couple of weeks later. So yeah. So thanks for watching the video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram at LowHeatBeats. Yeah, drop me a comment if you like the video. See you in the next one. Peace, yo.